Well, hello everyone, I am Fracture, and this is Let's Play Divine Divinity on the PC. Now, one of the things I wanted to do this go-round, aside from try and complete this ginormous sewer system, is sort of give a progress update. We're into the 80s now, in terms of Let's Play, and how's the plot going? And then I realized, well, not so much. I mean, we're kind of very near the beginning of the game still. I suppose our major plot points at the moment are a haunted abbey, and really the quest line that we were given at the start of the game to get us moving was that there is a bit of a plague in a poor part of town near the city that we are currently delizardifying their sewer for them. Nobody asked, I just kind of stumbled on this. Uh-oh. Time for F5, I think. Hang on. Let me just resolve my lizardly duties here. Okay, as I was saying, we came down and decided to delizardify this sewer. Not because we were asked, because we stumbled across a sewer gate. Hey, what does every adventurer do but immediately hop into the sewer system every time they spot a grate in the road? Really, probably our primary quest line was to solve a plague that is spreading through the poor part of town, and we're quite close to that, so we might get back to that once we get through all these lizards. Oh shoot, all that work. I need to pay more attention and do those quick saves. I seem to do that at the start of every Let's Play, is forget to quick save for a while. So where were we? Anyway, so once we complete this map, I might just use the pyramid trick to get out of the sewers instead of trying to find my way back up the stairs. That pyramid trick is you can actually use the teleporter pyramids without dropping the pyramid. So that means you can essentially leave, arrive at your other pyramid, and have your second pyramid with you. Oh, somebody's healing him. Flee! I don't know who was healing him, but I'm not pleased that he was. Ah, that's the guy. Ah, still again. One more try. We know what's going on right now. Go for the mage. Hopefully there's a purpose to this. You know, some fancy piece of jewelry or a new sword. There's probably some ballet slippers or something. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an overreaction. I take 10 steps and then quick save. Yeah, maybe not. Is one of these the mage? No. So far, so good. We've been lucky rolls of the dice. Very lucky this time. Alright, well, this time I will quick save. So, how far did I got? I got interrupted there and forgot exactly how much of the quest line I'd finished talking about. So yeah, so we'll get back to... That's the guy that I wanted to... Die. Good. Alright, and save. We seem to have wandered into somebody's home or something. It's certainly well protected. Mage's Gauntlet's probably not something of much use to me. And then the only other quest, to kind of get back on topic, aside from solving this plague problem, is, I think, actually a side quest. There's a haunted abbey that I tried to fight my way through and didn't do so well, but since then I've come up quite a few levels. I don't know, 2 or 3 while we've been in the sewer. So that's promising. I forgot to start my timer, but I think we've been going for about 5 minutes so far. And that's probably worth another trip to that haunted abbey and try to clear that out. I really think that's a side quest, though, not part of the primary quest. Good God, this place is... Oh boy, don't tell me it goes all the way up there. We'll be here for a while. Holy cow. It potentially, well... I'm hoping it's kind of this size. I may leave early otherwise. So we have that side quest of the haunted abbey, and that's worth a trip, I think. I really think we've gained enough levels now that I can at least finish off the entryway in the area surrounding the teleporter pad. And if we clear off the teleporter pad, we just make our lives... Oh, there's another ladder upwards. We make our lives easier, even if I have to leave. Oh, at some point, I got a level up. Well, no complaints there. Must have been a little while ago, because I'm at half health, and when you level up, you get full health. So this may not be the best... No, there's a guy I gotta kill first. I was going to say, this may not be the best place to level up, but I'm going to attempt it. And my agility is raised mostly by status items. I've been equipping gems into my swords and things like that. So, well, 1, 2... Agility at this time seems to be as important as strength, as far as I can tell, so we're going to do that. And just in time... The guy pops his head in the door. So I just kind of spread them around. Intelligence clearly is not required from the person playing the game or their avatar. So I've just been favoring strength and agility and throwing stuff in constitution. A little extra health is always good. So there we go. And now the tough decision, where do I put my skill point? You know, there's benefit to applying it here. Put another in enchant, because then I think I've got at least one item that has a enchant level of 3 or 4, and that would let me put another gem in. But I think I may lean towards one of these augments or protections. I'm still losing a lot of health as I go here. I'm not using a shield right now. I can't apply a point to that anyway until level 26. So I think it's going to be augment defense or another one in stun. I don't think so. We've augmented damage all the way up. Okay, defense it is.
Brilliant.
Don't know how much that helps. You know, you don't really notice aside from sort of the side effect that you don't seem to be dying very quickly, but I don't have any rock solid. So I think what I'll do now, though, is rather than use up this mana to heal me, is I'll do a quick teleport. Take a nap. And I really would like to get to a vendor, because I now have 2 items that I can't identify myself. Now, one of the things I've been doing with this game is not looking in FAQs or facts. I've heard it pronounced both ways, and boy, instead of just choosing a way, I tend to say it both ways every time, and that's kind of annoying. So I haven't been looking at facts and trying to find my way quickly through this game by any means. As you probably noticed, you know, being this, episode 80-something, and we're kind of at the front door of the game. Oh boy. Wow, that guy was really good. A challenge. Glad I took that nap and had all my mana when I found him. I still one of the things we found in the last video that worries me just a little bit is we found the lizard people's teleporters. And of course it said, oh, you can't use the lizard people's teleporter without the lizard people's teleporter approval scroll. That could be problematic, having slaughtered the entire race. So that has me a little worried that maybe the first lizard I came across, I was supposed to say hi instead of, here, let me show you your spleen. The only saving grace, I think, is that this game doesn't tend to trick you like that. In my experience, if you have the opportunity to talk to somebody, you can't attack them outright. There's always the initial discussion tree, and they're not hostile. And one of the discussion items is, have at you. Or if you're giving them smallpox-infected blankets, have at you! These guys are very impressive looking, but I don't know if it's my resistance to lightning that's helping particularly, but they're really not much of a threat. And they drop nice stuff. So I guess, double check, yeah, I was worried there for a second. I'd forgotten to pick up the pyramid. Wouldn't be the first time. Is that the right amount of gold? Yeah, that's right, I had 18 coming in and I found 10,000, yeah. Plus 58 to magic, plus 4 to defense. I think that's actually pretty good. Because these are, well, plus 6 to agility is pretty good for me as well. That I added with one of those gems. Because that plus 4 to hearing is pretty useless. Yeah. Plus 20 resistance to poison. Worth carrying around. There's that thing I couldn't identify level 5, which of course is the highest identification level, so I'm kind of hopeful that turns out to be something nice. But probably just going to be some sort of cursed thing. Alright, well, how are we doing? Boy. They sure make the most of their sewers. Well, these mana potions aren't doing me any good sitting in my inventory, so let's top up. I've probably been away from the bed long enough I could do a pyramid nap. Okay, he's on the other side of the wall, that one that just highlighted. Oops, I was just trying to see if they dropped anything and I quick saved. Well, that's a good mistake to have, I suppose, if you're going to have one. Come on, does this place never end? No. So I was just poking around on the internet, as one is wont to do, on YouTube. And the latest trending video, I actually caught it when it only had about a couple of thousand views. Probably everybody's seen it by now. It certainly looks like it. The homeless guy that had a sign that said, "I have been gifted with an amazing radio voice," and a TV personality went and just like gave him a buck and said, "Well, let's hear this voice." And the guy, without a doubt, had an absolutely amazing voice. I mean, top quality. This is CNN, or who's the other guy that does Deadly Harvest all the time, and Dirty Jobs? I can never remember that guy's name. But just that sort of rich, almost two-tone. He's like he's speaking in two really low chords at the same time. Really nice voice. Well, it caught on. It went viral. By every definition. I mean, it had millions of views the next day. And he's been offered a job and a house and a bunch of money, and he's flying back to see his mom. He's 70, I think they said. No, 70? I saw one place say 71, but I think somewhere else said he's younger than that, 59 or something like that. So he certainly doesn't look 71. His mom's 93, so I mean he could be 71. But so he gets to go back and see his mom, clearly just before she dies, and says, "Son of a gun, I actually made something of myself." Because he's a typical homeless kind of story. He had, okay, you were, well, I suppose kind of in that puce color. You weren't as ominous as you were trying to look, and clearly weren't. Anyway, the typical story. He had taken some training for his voice, but then got into drugs and whatnot, and ended up homeless and begging. And, it all turned out around for him in one day, basically. So I think that's a great story. I love stories like that. I'm a softie. I love stuff like that. I'm a little worried. I mean, he's been 2 years sober, but talk about overwhelming for somebody that's, on rock solid terms with everything, and he's suddenly been given everything. The odds aren't in his favor, so I hope somebody has the sense to not only offer him some voiceover work in a house, but also, counseling, and make sure that his whatever whatever those 12-step programs are. I'm not a big fan of those, but the one concept of those programs that I do like is that they establish a group and a support group. So I sure hope he has that in place, because if anything is going to set a guy back on the wrong path would be this outrageous limelight the guy's now in. He's been on CNN, he's being interviewed, flown around the country. So anyway, that was my ramble for today. I hope the best for the guy. I'm concerned that it's not going to work out. But he's, everybody should get that second chance. I guess the reason I'm cynical is that things like, sudden windfalls, it pulls the worst out in people as much as the best, and not the worst out in him necessarily, the worst out in the people around him trying to exploit him, use him for pure profit, which I think is the reason he got the job and the house. He's a great advertising thing, but fair enough, he still ends up with a job and a house. Regardless of the reason for them giving it to him. I just hope he's got the strength to make the most of it, while everybody else is trying to squeeze him for profit. Well, I want to, fix my weapons and whatnot here, but these guys standing right outside the door are probably not going to let me.
My head hurts. No more magic for now.
Oh, I've never had that message before. It might just be I'm out of mana, in a long-winded way of saying I'm out of mana. Or it could be I am not the best of magic users and I am limited by how often I can do it. I'm guessing it's just a mana warning. Okay, so first things first, let's repair these weapons now.
I don't have enough magical energy to do that.
Oh, right. Well, we can solve that in a hurry. There we are. Oh, boy, I never am going to like that. If you move the mouse even the tiniest fraction of an inch while you're doing this, instead of repairing, it moves it into your inventory. Now, this limbs of lead, well, this is probably not 290, 180, yeah. I like the color, but it's not that great. Not that great for me, anyway. So, let's see, we'll just save one more time. And we seem to have stumbled into... Jesus, this thing just goes on forever, and I think there was even a ladder upwards that I forgot to mark as well, in here somewhere. Boy, this is just endless, this sewer. I have a feeling some of this sewer probably comes out inside buildings as well. Well, on the first level of this sewer, we proved that, because it very much did come out into a trapped area of a castle or something. That makes for a nice change. Sorry, buddy. You go around wearing yourself like Dayglow purple and calling yourself a dark shadow? I don't know. What not to wear? Close. Barrel, nothing, nothing. Spiders I can take. And it looks like I'm going to have to, because there's... I found the realm of the spiders. So even those little ones are taking 2 hits. See, this is more along the lines of what I would expect to find in a sewer. Not giant purple... Oh, that thing again. Not giant purple ninja people. Wasn't there a song about that? Giant purple ninja person? I gotta talk to somebody about the effective use of barrels, too, in this... I think the most I've ever found in a barrel around here is like 2 apples. So, great for the barrel builders. But in terms of like reuse and reuse and recycle, not so much. See, look at that whole barrel with a piece of cheese. Not to mention that to open them, I slam them with my sword and destroy them. Okay, well, yeah, I'll take this. I'm sure they were stolen through lies and a web of deceit. Now I own them. But this thing... Is it just me, or is this sewer like... This is so freaking huge. And for those of you that haven't seen the previous video, this is the top half of like all of this again. So, boy, I'm glad I don't have a time limit. I'll probably go outside and it's going to be like post-apocalyptic Fallout 2 graphics instead of the King and Country graphics that I entered with. No, you were too long. Everybody died, and we invented atomic bombs. Ooh, another interesting looking place. Yeah, it's certainly worth the exploring, but holy cow. And you know, all this gold lying around and they still just throw their garbage in the street. Well, I guess you can't give them too hard a time, you know. Even if you have lots of gold, you're living in a sewer, you're living in a sewer. What's the saying? You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear? I'm not sure why you'd want to. Can't make a silk purse out of a sow's anus either, and that's not the saying. I don't know what the big deal about the sow's ear is. You could make a pretty inventive wedding ring out of a sow's anus, I suppose. But maybe that's not what they're getting at. Not like overall functionality, it's just sort of a general saying. Okay, well, I think with this pile of gold, I'm going to turn to the camera and say, yes, here it comes. I thank you for watching, and I thank you for listening. I encourage you to leave comments, suggestions, or infantile abuse. I promise I read it all. And if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel or give me the thumbs up. And you'll be seeing a lot more of them. A lot more. Endless. Boy, this thing, we're on 85, and as I keep saying, we have barely scratched the surface. Well, barely scratched the sewer. That would get just awful stuff under your fingernails, and then, well, I guess he's got daggers and stuff. He doesn't have to use his teeth. Anyway, so until next time, cheers, guys.